what in particular are you looking for in lyrics when you write them?
That's a hard one to say, but with lyrics, I like to feel like there's some element of originality in the. In this day and age, a lot of lyrics are being delivered in many different ways. So, trying to avoid all those cliches and deliver something in a way that expresses what you want to get across. And quite often they're emotions that have been discussed many times before. Love or heartbreak but trying to find some unique angle on that feels like you're avoiding the cliches, and for me with lyrics, I really try to what's the word? I like to keep an element of mystery about what I'm talking about there, because I think that I don't personally enjoy many songs where it's too literal and too linear. Like if it's just a story about Sally and John went down to the markets holding hands or whatever. Like it doesn't work for me. I like where you can project your own thoughts on a song and make it your own. So if a song is too direct with its message, I think sometimes that doesn't work. So for me, I try to avoid that as well.
Is it important in that sense that there's not necessarily one meaning, or you can call it a meaning, to a song, and but that people can interpret it differently?
Yeah, I mean, not always. Sometimes it's good to be really direct, but I think I prefer generally when a song can be interpreted different ways.
Can you give me an example of one song on the album where you kind of took a cryptic way of talking about something?
It's pretty much every song on the album, I guess. Let me think. I mean, I don't think many people know what Backseat's about, or Don't Make a Scene. I mean, those songs there, I kind of...
are you willing to share what Backseat is about?
Not too much. I'll be very cagey about it, but I mean, it's that whole song was written in a day, and it was all produced and everything in one day, but which was nice because songs aren't normally that quick. But that song for me is in my mind. There's a certain place in Adelaide, the city that we grew up in, that I'm at, and it's basically a collection of experiences that remind me of growing up, being a young adult in Adelaide. But there's you can read the lyrics, and there's some suggestions about what that may or may not have been.
But you're not willing, or is it what you said before, that you don't necessarily want it to be too obvious?
Yeah, and I think that by talking about it, I think that you take away from the art. Okay. That sounds very serious and a bit wanky, but I think it's true.
Okay. Well, yeah. Emotionality. Let me see. Yeah, emotion in the lyrics is also a big point I read somewhere. How do you try to evoke emotion in the listener then?
You try to do that by delivering the lyrics and choosing the way that the lyrics fit over a melody, so that it doesn't sound too unnatural. I think that a good example of how not to sound natural is when people write melodies and there's one syllable, and they stretch it over about 3 different notes. Like you hear that a lot in the music of in some top 40 acrobatic vocal stuff, where all emotion is lost because nobody says a word over three or four notes. Carefully choosing the way that you thread the words and the melody through the song, I think, is and then how you deliver it. I think also not if you deliver an entire song at the top of your vocal range, it's another good way of not sounding honest. I think yeah, it's a hard one. It's
Is that something you actively try to do to evoke emotion, or?
Well, I don't think of it in those terms. I think when you write a song, you just if you listen back to what you've done and you feel like the message comes across in an honest way, then you've succeeded. But it's really hard to verbalise how you do that.
Yeah, well, I have to wrap up, so this is going to be the last question. Well, your initial intention, I read somewhere, was to maybe have about 500 fans and
or that,
500 people
or less even. 100 fans would have been good.
After now that you've signed a record deal and have so many listeners, how has your ambition changed since then?
I think as a human being, wherever you're at, you're always trying to grow. So that's the fortunate / unfortunate thing of being a human being, is that you can set yourself some modest goals in life, and then if you achieve those, you're still not happy and you want to achieve more, or or do something else. So, but yeah, initially the whole plan was just to maybe a couple of hundred people would hear the music and we could play a show, and people might come and listen to it. So now we can play several shows. It's nice. I'm satisfied with that.
Well, one last question then. Are you looking forward to festival season this summer? And
yes.
Are you also playing in the Netherlands?
We're definitely looking forward to the festival season. We've got a bunch of them coming up in America, and there is rumour I've heard of us maybe coming here, but nothing's been confirmed yet. So, but hopefully we'll be back sometime in the next few months, because I love Amsterdam. Is actually my favourite city. Okay. So if we could spend 6 months of the year here, just touring around Amsterdam, that'd be great.
Okay, well, thank you.
Maybe you could work that out for us.
I'll make some calls. Thank you.
Thank you.